We always say that any time is time for sparkling wine, right, Carmela?
We do, absolutely.
But around the holidays, I would say that sparkling wines are a little extra fun, don't you think?
I think so.
So, okay, on that note, what sparkling wine do you love, Carmela?
Ooh, my go-to is always a bottle of Prosecco.
Yeah, we love Prosecco, that's for sure. But in this episode, we don't want to just talk about any Prosecco. We want to talk about why Brut Prosecco is what you should have under the tree this year.
Oh, wow.
While you wait for Santa.
Oh, wow. Well, if we have that under the tree, Santa might never leave.
Santa baby. Okay, Here we go. Hello, and welcome to the Wine Pair Podcast. I'm Joe, your sommelier of reasonably priced wine, and this is my wife and my wine pairing partner in crime, Carmela.
Hi there.
And we are the Wine Pair. Carmela, I'm telling you, this is going to be our best episode ever.
Really?
Okay, yes.
Why?
I don't know, but a quick orientation for those of you who may be new to the podcast. In each episode, we learn about and taste and give our honest review of 3 wines that are reasonably priced, meaning under $20 each, and should be easy for you to find. And we talk about what foods to pair with that wine because, hey, we're the Wine Pair. And our podcast is made for people who want to learn more about wine and find new wines to enjoy and just want someone to please talk about wine in a fun way that regular people can understand and use in their daily lives.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, that sounds like you. You are in the right place.
Woo!
And we are very proud to say that we are recommended by the editors of Decanter Magazine, who call us fun, irreverent,
Chatty,
and entertaining. Best episode ever. I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
It's coming right up.
Wow, I can't wait. This is amazing. This is it.
I know.
This is it, honey.
Well, Carmela, it's been a year since we did our last holiday sparkling wine extravaganza. And in this episode, we're going to focus on, as we said in the intro, Brut Prosecco.
Woo!
We'll talk more on why we're focusing on Brut Prosecco in a minute, but I did want to mention that last year's episodes on holiday sparkling wines are still worth checking out or rechecking out if it's been a while.
For sure.
Because they're relevant.
Absolutely. And who doesn't want to hear more about sparkling?
Exactly. So we did one on Cremant, which in my opinion is a way too overlooked sparkling wine that comes mostly from France and often plays second fiddle to champagne, but shouldn't. So check out that episode 54. And then we did another episode 58 on sparkling rosé.
Ooh, and I love a sparkling rosé.
Yeah, and in that episode, we tasted and reviewed sparkling rosés from Argentina, a cava from Spain, and a sparkling rosé from Italy that was not a Prosecco.
Oh my goodness, that was a really good one. Are we sure we're going to top that one?
This would be the best episode ever.
Okay, we're going to name it best episode ever.
If it is, we're going to name it.
Best
okay.
period
Until the
episode,
next one, and then that one will be the
ever.
greatest. That's right. So those are great episodes to help you choose some great sparkling wines for the holidays. And today will be another great, probably the greatest episode on sparkling
of
wine.
all time.
That's right.
The GOAT.
The GOAT, like Tom Brady. That should be another great, or Michael Jordan. It should be another great choice for giving gifts or serving during holiday celebrations or even having at New Year's Eve.
Oh, what about just on a random Tuesday night?
Or on a Tuesday night right before
bedtime.
Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you do.
Right.
Now, most people, Carmela, know Prosecco. In fact, it is the most popular sparkling wine in the world.
That's incredible. I don't think that was the case, like 20 years ago?
No, it wasn't. And in fact, according to an article from Forbes that you can find on our show notes, there's more Prosecco sold each year than champagne and cava combined.
That's incredible.
I know.
Look at the Italians.
I know. Look at us go. Okay, so we'll talk in a minute about why we wanted to focus on Brut Prosecco. Prosecco specifically. But Prosecco has a really interesting history. And some of that history is very recent history. The grape that Prosecco is made from, Carmela, we've talked about this before, but I'm not going to put you on the spot. The grape is called Glera.
Oh, Galera.
But it wasn't always that way. In fact, the name of the grape being separate from the name of the wine is a pretty new invention.
Okay.
Intrigue. Mystery.
Really.
Already the greatest episode.
I'm so interested.
Okay, there are some really good articles in the show notes that go into more detail than I will go into here. But until 2009, the grape was called Prosecco.
Oh, okay.
Not Glera. However, what happened is the wine growers, they wanted to create a more protected designation of origin for Prosecco. And to do that, they had to find a new name for the grape. Otherwise, other areas of the world could grow the grape and call it Prosecco. So they wanted to protect the area called Prosecco. So the name of the grape is kind of a new technicality that they made to protect the new designation of origin for Prosecco, because in areas of Italy where they were making the wine, they basically kind of wanted to put a legal wall around it so they could make a specific sparkling wine from that area. Kind of like champagne, right? Champagne's only made in Champagne. And Cremant can only come from certain areas of France and maybe Luxembourg. So the name Glera was actually a name that had existed, but it was a synonym for the Prosecco grape, and it was used in the Friuli area of Italy. Like that name was used in the Friuli area of Italy. And so they just made it the official name for the grape rather than Prosecco.
That is so
Isn't that crazy?
Interesting, but that's a newer thing.
Yeah, 2009.
That's incredible.
So today what the EU does is the EU protects the name Prosecco. And in some regions like New Zealand, where they had started to make sparkling wines from the Prosecco grape, the wine was called Prosecco.
Now they can't call it.
Now they have to stop. However, in Australia, they're not following along. So we'll see what happens.
Trouble.
So there are potentialities where you could get a Prosecco that's not from Prosecco.
Italy. Yeah.
The Prosecco area.
Will it be noted on the bottle?
No, the only way you'll know it is because it will say where it's from, and it'll say it's from Australia or whatever.
Right. But it will say Prosecco on the bottle.
Yeah.
But that's why you have to, it's like anything imported from Italy, right? You have to check the back check
you have
the
to
label.
see, or does it say DOC or DOCG on it?
Yeah, that's always like such a bummer when you're like, ooh, this is really good olive oil or something. And then you
it's
find out it's from like LA.
I don't think they make a lot of olive oil. Okay, but it is doubtful that in most places in the world that you would see Prosecco from outside of Italy, because they make this is a technical term, shitload of Prosecco.
Oh, what does
Italy.
that mean? Can you tell me the definition?
I can spell it for you.
Okay.
Anyway, as recently as 2021, in fact, Carmela, they produced 627 million bottles of Prosecco in Italy.
Holy cow.
And I did a little math.
Wow.
It takes
You were
3
doing
million.
math, huh?
It takes 3,333,333 bottles of wine.
Okay, I don't know if I'm trusting your math.
It's from an article to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Wow. So with all the Prosecco they made in 2021, you could fill 181 Olympic-sized swimming pools.
My God, there are some drunk folk out there.
No, they don't actually use it in the Olympics, although that would be an interesting sport. I would see that one.
Oh.
I would go and see that one.
Wow.
I might travel to the Olympics for that one.
Just to watch that one.
Totally.
Okay.
Okay, well, I think that's enough of the background on the name Prosecco, because we got to get to our tasting and review of these 3 Brut Proseccos that we have, because I'm getting thirsty, and we're going to have the greatest show ever, and we'll do that in a few minutes. But first,
you got to do our shameless plug.
You're right. So we want to thank you for listening to us and supporting our show. And if you haven't had the chance to do so yet, now would be a really great time to subscribe to the podcast as a free way to support us. And thanks if you've already subscribed. You win. Santa is looking down and happy with you.
You are on the nice list.
You're not on the nice list.
Good job.
And another great way to support us is to leave a nice rating and review on our website or Apple Podcasts or Spotify. That's really nice. We'll also get you on the nice list. And you can follow us and see pictures of the wines we're tasting and trying today on Instagram at the Wine Pair Podcast. And you can go to our website and sign up for our newsletter, thewinepairpodcast.com. That's the name of the website now. And the newsletter. It's the best newsletter in the world.
Ever.
And if you missed the last one, just email me and I'll send it to you. I will honestly send it to you. And as we do every week, we'll tell you someone we think you should tell about the Wine Pair Podcast. And this week, we want you to tell anyone you would consider to have a dry personality.
What?
I don't... You'll understand why in a minute. Brut, dry, the whole thing, right? And then if you...
Right, just to liven them up a little bit?
Yeah, just say, hey, you need a little Prosecco. Listen to these jackasses.
Buddy, you're so dry. Yeah. I know something that is similar but different.
You need to drink about a little bit this.
Right. So I can... Wow. I think that's kind of funny. I almost thought you were going to go down the Santa route, like tell an
That'll
elf.
come later. But go ahead, tell what elf on the shelf.
Tell an elf.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Any elf you
if
see.
you know any elves.
Yeah, if you know any elves.
That would be...
Is that weird?
I think that's rude.
Okay.
Carmela, let's get to the topic at hand.
Okay.
And that topic is Brut Prosecco.
Nice.
Now, I keep making a big deal of Brut Prosecco, Carmela, because most of the time, the Prosecco that they serve is dry, not brut. Right? And are you confused about that?
I'm always a little confused.
I know. So we haven't talked about this for a little while, but the definitions of dry and brut in sparkling wine are confusing.
They are so confusing.
Yeah, because a dry sparkling wine is actually on the sweeter side. And it's the Brut ones that are dry. But in still wines, you say a dry wine for a dry wine.
Right.
Which is weird.
Well, and Brut is just weird too because I think of ugly.
Okay. And Brutus. How about Brutus from Popeye?
Right.
Who sometimes was Bluto. And I don't understand that. Sometimes Brutus was Bluto. Yes, the bad guy in Popeye was sometimes Bluto. And sometimes Brutus. Look it up. Go to
that is really weird. Okay.
Let's go back. Brut sparkling wines have very little residual sugar, and extra Brut or Brut natural sparkling wines will basically have no sugar. And that doesn't mean they don't have sweetness. It just means that there's no sugar left over after the fermentation. Now, another good hint for whether or not you have a Brut or a dry, like a sweeter wine or a drier wine, is the level of alcohol. The lower the alcohol, the sweeter the wine tends to be. So if you see a Prosecco or a sparkling wine that's under 11% alcohol, it's probably on the sweeter side.
Very sweet, yeah.
Now, if you've been listening to us for a while, and who hasn't?
Right.
You know about us. And what we like is a nice, dry, or Brut sparkling wine.
I'm getting it.
Right? We don't really go for sweet wines.
No, we really don't. I want to say though, you used to like, I know we've talked about this, you used to like to buy the sweet sparklings.
Like Asti Spumante and that kind of stuff.
I did. And the Tosties or whatever that one brand is. Or variety, you know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm totally with you. I used to like it.
You used to buy those.
They're fun to drink and they were tasty.
But they give you a stomachache.
Well, I was going to talk about that in a minute. So you always say that you can get tired of those wines. Why?
Yeah, well, that first few sips, you're like, this is delicious. It's almost like Martinelli's sparkling cider, but it just gets kind of old.
You call it tiring. I'm going to get tired of it.
I'm going to get tired of it.
What does that mean when you say you get tired of it?
I'm not going to be interested after about a quarter of a glass. I'll just be like, it's just too much. It's either a little boring, a little too sweet.
I think it just gets too much. And I think you kind of start getting thirsty, like I've got too much sugar and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just not interested after a while.
Yeah, so I mean, that's one of the reasons why we prefer a Brut sparkling, because I feel like I can drink it longer. The other one is just taste preference. I just prefer it a little more dry now. Maybe as I'm older, I like it a little drier. Another one is kind of trying to avoid a little bit of unnecessary sugar, right? True. As I get a little older.
Well, we all are. That's another buzzword, zero sugar. Like everybody's avoiding sugar.
Yeah, I mean, the sugar is carbs. And, so to do that, I hardly drink beer anymore because usually dry wines, have fewer carbs than beer. But that's a tangent. I think the main reason that we tend to like them is because they tend to be a little bit more acidic and they pair better with savory foods. So like a main dish or an appetizer or something like that. Sweeter wines can pair with foods, but they tend to pair with sweeter foods, like more desserty kind of foods.
Exactly. More end of the meal type of drinks that you might have, with something sweet.
Yeah. And you can also, they can also go well with spicy foods, but that's a little bit of a taste preference. I think sometimes the sweeter wines are more cocktaily, so again, we tend to drink wine with food rather than cocktailing the wine. And I think sweeter wines, you can just have
by themselves.
Exactly. You're out with friends and all that kind of stuff. Beyond that, I think we also probably just naturally came to prefer Brut Prosecco because it just so happens, Carmela, that the Glera grape is on the sweeter side to begin with. So the grape tends to be sweet. And then the other thing that I learned, and I learned about this on the interwebs, is that the majority of mass-produced Prosecco wines, which are the ones that you and I and the people out there in listening land that are listening to us right now are usually drinking, and they're usually made in the extra dry or sweeter side. They're usually, so most Proseccos, if you go to the store, most of the time you're going to find an extra dry. And according from a good article that I found on a website called Just Perfect Wines, these mass-produced Proseccos, they're not going to be as good of a wine in terms of like the quality of the wine because, and that's kind of expected when you get a mass-produced wine. They're going to find cheaper grapes and maybe they're not going to be the best grapes. And so that sweetness kind of helps with the flavor. If the flavor's not awesome, having them a little sweet gives a little bit more
shortcut.
A little shortcut to the taste profile. That's right. So in addition to our palates telling us that we prefer drier wines because they pair better with food, there may also be something about just the quality of the wine being better. So that, something to consider. I don't know. Maybe that's snobby. I don't know what it is.
You're so snobby.
Exactly. But it's not that the sweet ones are bad.
It's just really not what we prefer.
It's not our preference. And so, on that note, let's talk about these Brut Proseccos that we found. How about that?
Let's hear about them.
Greatest episode
Ever.
I mean,
right now.
so far,
So good.
if we stopped it right now, it would be the best episode we've ever had.
It would just skyrocket to number one.
But we're going to keep it going. It's only going to get better.
Might as well.
Yeah,
you
okay.
know?
So-
Don't quit while we're behind, right?
What? Ahead.
Ahead. What is it?
I don't know. Okay, so as usual, all the wines we have chosen for this episode are under $20, and all of them should be relatively easy to find because I bought them all on wine.com.
Mm-hmm.
And look, Prosecco is not hard to find.
No, it's all over.
Now, 15, 20 years ago, hard to find.
Yes.
Today, you can find it anywhere.
There's display.
After display.
Right. There's rack. I mean, when you walk into the store, sometimes there's just like Prosecco.
No, it's true. Like sometimes there's a Prosecco man. Hey, how'd you guys doing? No, but like I like to say that Cabernet Sauvignon and Chardonnay are everywhere. Well, Prosecco's everywhere.
Prosecco
too.
is everywhere.
But finding Brut Prosecco takes a little bit of effort.
Oh.
Because again, most of the Proseccos on the market are the extra dry or dry versions, which are on the sweeter side. So looking for a Brut, you're going to have to
look a
search
little
around.
harder.
And don't get fooled. Like I often get fooled when you see extra dry and you're like, oh, that's dry. It's not. It's sweeter. So just remember that. Rule of thumb, try to keep it in your head. When you're looking at that
Always
sparkling
opposite
wine.
day when it comes to Prosecco.
Exactly. And you may actually find that Brut Proseccos cost a little bit more because they are a little less common and usually made from better grapes.
Okay.
Now, the first wine we're going to drink is called Bisol Geo Prosecco Brut. And I don't think this is a wine that we've ever had before. The winery says that they seek the steepest hills to find their grapes. And
Wow.
and often steep hills are desirable because water drains better. And this is true of a lot of plants, but like water pooling at the bottom of a plant and
Not
it's
a good idea.
Not usually a great thing. So that's helpful. The winery also says that they ferment in stainless steel, which I would expect is the case for all of these wines for 15 days.
Okay.
Which doesn't seem like a long time. And if you remember from previous episodes, because I know you all remember this.
Taking notes,
That's
for
right.
sure.
Prosecco is not made in the champagne style. So in the champagne style, or the traditional method, the second fermentation takes place in the bottle. But in Prosecco, it's made in what's called the Charmat method, where the second fermentation takes place in a big vat. And what this winery says that they do is they do the second fermentation in autoclaves. And I had to look that up because I don't know what the hell an autoclave is.
It's like an automobile.
Autoclave. Okay. So anyway, it's this stainless steel big old, it looked like a safe. It looked like safes.
Oh, wow.
Like big stainless steel safes, and they're under a lot of pressure.
Under lock and key.
Yeah, and they pressurize them, and evidently that makes the second fermentation really fast. So part of the thing with Prosecco is they just try to pump out this crap as quickly as they can.
Well, they have to. People are like banging down the door.
627 million bottles.
Come on, Olympic-sized pools full of it.
Exactly.
I mean, they need to crank it out.
I made that up. They don't have pools full of it.
They do.
No.
And they have straws. People just are at the end of the, all the sides with their
Can you
straws.
imagine? What if
Look, I'm going to that pool. I'd be a part of that club.
Okay, but wait a minute. If there was people in the pool, would you still drink out of it? Hell no.
It's alcohol. It will kill all the germs.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Would you want to
either.
be the person in the pool or outside of the pool?
Ooh,
Would you swim in Prosecco?
sure.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I
All
mean,
right.
why not?
Okay. Best episode ever. Okay. This wine has gotten good reviews, several 90%. I was going to say several 90 plus ratings. So this could be a good bargain if it's a good wine. Okay, silence is deadly. Okay, the second Prosecco we're going to drink is called Zardetto Prosecco Brut.
I've seen that one.
Zardetto, well, now wait a minute.
What?
Zardetto is popular
We've
and
seen
easy to
Zardetto.
find.
We've
but the
drank
Brut,
it.
but the Brut is what I'm talking about, Bluto.
You don't think we've had the Brut?
I don't know because I think you have to look around a bit for the Brut.
Okay, we will see. I'm going to check out that bottle.
Okay, now this wine, check it out. This wine is actually a blend. It's 85% Glera and 15% Pinot Blanc or Chardonnay. Yeah, or they didn't depending on the
That's
year.
so weird.
I know.
These ones are better this year.
I don't know.
That's okay.
So, and I assume they're adding those wines to the Glera to add a bit more body, but I don't know. And they also say they get their grapes from higher hills. There's no commentary about the steepness of the hills, but hey, I'm going to go with steepness, okay? Yeah. And then they say their second fermentation takes place in temperature-controlled pressurized stainless steel tanks. Oh. And again, the pressurization makes the fermentation faster. And then they also leave the wine for 30 days on the lees. And if you remember what the lees are, the lees is like the yeast and other shit that's left over to give it that kind of like yeasty, kind of funky flavor that I really like. And these guys, they make a ton of wines, Ardetto.
Yeah, it's been around.
This wine alone, they made 1.5 million bottles of last year.
My God.
And they also make them in those little splits, those cute little splits.
Yeah, they are cute.
Those single serving splits, and in 1.5 liter magnums, which would be really fun on New Year's Eve, don't you think?
For a big holiday celebration.
I think so. So look out for that. If you can find a big ass bottle of Prosecco,
take it.
Brut. Bring that.
Brut?
Take it. You got to pay for it. You can't just take it.
Okay, true.
Okay, now this last Prosecco, Carmela, it's a fancy one, but it's still under the $20 price range. So there you go. It's called L'Écouteur Faguer Prosecco Superiore Brut. I don't know how to say it, actually. Wow. And it's from the Valdobbiadene DOCG region, which is the highest designation for Prosecco in the world. It's the top, the tip top. God. If you look at Prosecco pyramids, it's the top of the pyramid.
No, wait, but it's under $20, this bottle.
I know.
What the heck?
I know. Okay. And it has Superiore in the name. Now, the winery says that they soft press the grapes, which is nice, rather than hard
nice
press.
To the grapes. What have they ever done to you?
Yeah, exactly. And then they say they ferment the must in absence of skins at a controlled temperature, and I don't know what that means. So anyway, and then after removing the accumulated foam, this is exactly what it says, and that sounds like a really weird thing, foam, the accumulated foam.
Well, there's a lot of bubbles.
Yeah, I think it's more than that. But anyway, which means they probably filtered the wine. The second fermentation, it takes place in closed steel vats with the Charmat method at a controlled temperature. So whatever. All right.
Wow, so formal.
Now, here's a little note for you. If you see either the names Valdobbiadene or a solo on the bottle of a Prosecco, usually accompanied by the term superiore, you're getting the very best Prosecco. And you're probably going to pay more for it.
So we don't have that.
No, we do.
I thought you said
our third wine.
Oh, okay.
Our third wine.
So we have this designation?
Yes, exactly.
But it's under $20, but you said we were going to be paying a lot more.
Well, because most Proseccos are like $8.
It's
$10.
It is
They're
true.
Cheap.
They are a bargain.
Exactly.
I mean, that's why they're so popular.
Exactly. And I think why most people probably don't buy these wines because it's like, hey, I can get a Prosecco for $8.
Right.
Why am I going to pay $20?
That's the deal. That is absolutely the deal.
So today, part of what we're going to do, Carmela, in addition to having the greatest show that we've ever had, is that we are going to find out, is the Superiore actually Superiore? Okay. We're gonna let you people know.
Yeah.
We're going to taste it.
What we think.
We know. No, we know.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's enough information. We need to get to drinking, and we're going to tell you.
Hop in the pool.
That's right. We're going to hop in the pool and see if any of these wines should show up on your holiday table as a holiday gift, and
grab your straws.
That's right. Or if you should just drink it while watching the movie Elf.
Ooh.
Elf. I said Elf.
Why did you say Elf?
I don't know. Or Die Hard.
Nah.
Yes, Die Hard's Christmas movie.
Home Alone.
Anyway, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
And if you have some Prosecco,
pop it open.
Participation points. Okay, we are back and we are ready to try our first Prosecco, a Brut Prosecco. This is the Bisol Geo Prosecco Brut. It's from Prosecco, Italy. Who knew? Non-vintage, which just is typical for sparkling wines, usually not a year. $14.99 at wine.com. It's 11% alcohol, 100% Glera as far as we know. And Wilfred Wong from wine.com gave it a 90 and Wine Enthusiast gave it a 92. But Carmela, what are you smelling? Okay. She's laughing.
No, it's making me cough. Like I say, when I smell anything sparkling, it makes me cough.
That's nice.
I know. Okay, so I'm not getting that yeasty smell that you sometimes...
I totally am.
Oh my God, I totally am not. I'm kind of getting like peach.
A little peach.
But you're getting some bread or...
For sure. I'm getting yeastiness. I'm
not getting that as much as I expected. Sometimes you can it is so overwhelming.
I'm getting like pear. I'm not getting quite apple. I'm getting more pear.
Yeah, there's a little sweetness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. A little bit of even like a cider, a peach cider.
A little bit of, there's a hint of spice. Just a hint.
Like an allspice, like a baking spice.
Yeah, a hint of a baking spice, like a little hint of like a pear tart or something.
Ooh, with the crust.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to taste it.
Okay. A little tangy.
Tangy. I think pear. I'm getting a lot of pear on it.
Yeah.
Like what are those Anjou, like an Anjou pear? You know, those kind of like really crispy pears.
Yes. Yeah, they're a little greener. Yeah.
That's what I'm getting. That's almost the only thing I'm getting. Maybe a little bit of that, like at the end, that like sort of baking spice tart. Because I think there is.
It's a little bit of bitter, like a little bit of like a, those bitters.
I'm getting like almost the skin of the pear too. Is that, like the skin has dryness on it or bitterness? I'm getting that.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit pithy to me too, I guess. A little bit.
You're getting bitterness.
Yeah, that bitterness is coming through, especially at the end. It's very, it's really prevalent at the end of it.
Yeah, I'm totally back to this like pear tart or like a pear pastry. Because I am getting a little bit of bread or yeast on it. I don't know. That's me. And a little bit of like cinnamon and sugar.
Interesting.
In that pear tart. Like that sweetness of a pear tart.
Yeah. It's nice. It's a little bit bitter for me. Like it's just real. It's nice. It just feels.
I think you're just bitter tonight.
I am just bitter. I just want to keep saying that. Like I'm trying to hint something to you.
I'll say one thing. You could drink this easy. This is easy drinking. This goes down real easy.
This is kind of, actually, I have to say, it's sort of summery to me. I think that tartness, that little bit of tang that I'm tasting would be kind of a summer sipper.
Yeah, it's nice.
And here we are in the middle of December.
I know. What? I know. The holidays.
Yeah.
From that perspective, though, like holiday wine, you think it's a holiday wine?
Well, yeah. I mean, any sparkling is time for a holiday or celebration I absolutely think it could be a holiday wine. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure.
What would you eat with this holiday Prosecco?
Well, this is a little bit, it's almost a little bit on the sweeter side for me of these. It's brewed. It's definitely dry. I am getting a little apple now on it. I know that doesn't answer your question, but I almost feel like you could have like desserty kind of stuff. It'd be really good appetizer wine, like a really good like brie cheese and apples, like really nice with that kind of thing. That's kind of the sense I'm getting.
Smoother cheese, a creamy, not a real funky cheese.
No, with fruit or something, or like dried fruits and nuts would be really good with this. I think.
I can see that.
I mean, I think you could
something
serve it salty, for sure.
Yeah,
French fries or chips or whatever.
I was gonna say even potato chips or some fried food. Like actually, like fried fish would be good. Yeah. Fish and chips.
I gotta say, though, I kind of feel like this is more of an appetizer or post-meal. To me, I'm not sure I would have this with the main meal.
Okay.
It's just got a little bit of sweetness on it that, to me, is a little bit overpowering for a savory kind of food.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, let's rate it.
Though.
No, it's very nice. As a reminder on our rating scale, because we're going to rate this. We rate on a scale of 1 to 10, where 7 and above means that we'd buy it, and 4 below means we're going to pour it down the sink, and a 5 or a 6 is menza. I'll drink it, but I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to pour it down the sink, but I might look for something different.
Right.
So what rating would you give the Bisogeo Prosecco Brut?
It's just so hard. There are so many Proseccos that we love, but I do think it's one that I would buy. I think I'm going to give it a 7.
Totally. I'm the same boat.
Okay.
It's good enough to buy. No question about it. Sure. You're going to enjoy it. Would it be fun at a party? Yes.
Absolutely.
Should you open it on New Year's Eve? Yes.
Sure.
If you're having a holiday
party. Especially if you find that big old Magnum. Is that this one?
No, but do it.
Oh, okay.
Do it. Do it anyway. And no, I think a good gift wine. It's kind of a pretty bottle. Like it's nice. I think this is a nice wine. So there you go.
Solid wine.
Solid. It's rock solid. Okay, we're going to take a break and we're going to try our next Prosecco.
Okay.
Okay, we are back and we are ready to try our next Brut Prosecco. This is the Zardetto Prosecco Brut. It's also from, Prosecco Italy. It's non-vintage, again, $15.99 at wine.com, 11.5% alcohol. And this one is 85% Glera and 15% either Pinot Blanc or Chardonnay or both or whatever. And the Wine Enthusiast gave this a 90 and James Suckling gave it a 90, whatever that's worth. Mm-hmm. But Carmela, what are you smelling in this Prosecco?
So this one I'm smelling a little more of that toast, a little more bread, something even like a brioche, like something sweet, even alongside of it, and apple. I'm getting some apple on it. What about you?
Yeah, I got that. Definitely on the first opening, I got that. I'm getting flowers. I'm getting something very floral on this one.
Ooh, what kind of flower? Like more like a rose?
No, like some sort of sweet. I don't know the smells of flowers, but like a sweet, flowery kind of smell.
Dry, like potpourri, or fresh?
I feel like a fresh, like a meadow, like a meadow flower or something.
Ooh, okay. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm getting something flowery on it.
Yeah, I think I'm getting a little of that too.
When I swirl it, I definitely get more kind of yeastiness or breadiness, cookie, like a biscuit, or
even like croissant. I feel like a sweet, because that's got a little bit of a sweeter edge to it.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit more like a biscotti or a shortbread or something. Oh,
something really sweet then.
But I'm thinking about that smell of it, like a Biscoffy kind of smell.
Ooh, okay.
But I'm getting apple, more apple than pear probably.
I think so, more than the last. The other one was so much more pear. This is a little more apple.
Okay, I'm gonna go in for it. Oh, it's nice. It's got a little spice on it.
Really different.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little spice. A little citrus too.
Oh yeah, you're right. I am getting that citrus for sure. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, apple. Like sometimes we talk about, like my mom, we were little, put like a little apple and put a little lemon on it to keep it.
Yeah, keep it fresh.
Definitely, it's got that acidic, lemony kind of nice taste to it.
And it's actually, you could almost taste the apple with the lemon on it, like a Granny Smith.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, you're saying,
you can taking a bite of the apple. Because I am getting a little bit of apple on it, but like a sour apple or a tart apple. Not like a Honey Crisp or something, a little less sweet.
Now that you say that, though, I'm getting a lot of citrus. Almost some tropical fruit, too, on it. Like pineapple-y, pineapple juice. Like, sometimes pineapple juice, it's sweet, but also can be a little bit like, can have a little bitterness on it a little bit.
For sure. But, yeah.
Almost like it's too sweet.
Yeah. Ooh, I love a pineapple.
But it's good.
It's really, and it's very different than the first one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, definitely notes of citrus coming. Notes of citrus coming through.
A little more apple pie to me, too.
Not as bitter.
Not as bitter.
A little smoother than the other one.
Yeah, I think so. What food would you have with this?
I think I could see this with dinner. Like the other one, not as quite as much. A little more standalone. I would do, I do a lot. I mean, I think I could do a shrimp dish, something like shellfish.
Yeah, shellfish, fried chicken. Yeah. I think fried chicken would be really good with this. Like a spicy fried chicken, buffalo wings. Like that would be really good. Like spicy fried, I could see fried chicken with this.
Interesting. Yeah, I could do like
fish,
a spaghetti and clam sauce with
sushi would be really good.
Would be really good. Yeah. Oh, this is a nice wine.
Yeah, a little bit. I think maybe a little bit more sophisticated than the first one.
Yeah, and the other one was a little bit in your face too. I mean, just with that more of that bitterness.
What do you think of this bottle compared to the other one?
What do you mean? The look of the label?
Yeah, like in
similar.
Terms of like, but like more party, less party. What do you think?
Well, this is sort of like you go to like a rave with.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. It's a little masculine too, I think.
Really? Yeah, maybe. It's but the green is kind of funny. It's almost like, it is kind of like party wine, but it doesn't have to be. It can be like the Down Under party wine.
Whoa. Like the parties you go to.
The last time we went to the Down Under.
I know. I'm like, unless you're going to parties that I don't know about.
Like the little oomph, that kind of, yeah. I can't do it. But
I'm with you.
A little of that, maybe.
All right. Well,
what do you think of the model?
I think it's great. I can't really see it right now. No, I think to me, it's a little like
superhero bottle.
Yeah.
Z for
to me, it's a little dude.
Zardetto.
It's a little dude. It looks a little dude to me.
Really?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't feel feminine. Does it feel feminine?
No.
It feels dude to me. Like, hey, let's go, guys. We're going to drink some Zardetto. Cruise for chicks.
Whoa. Anyway, I don't know.
What rating would you give this wine?
Okay, so if I'm comparing it to the other one, which I know we don't necessarily do, but I'm going to give this one an 8.
Okay.
I'm going to have this one before the other one.
Okay. I'm going to still go with 7.
Okay.
I think it's good. Like, I like it. I like it a little bit better than the last one, but I'm not sure I'm ready for an 8. I'm not sure I'm ready for an 8.
Wow.
7 is a good rating. Don't get us wrong. It's a really good rating. Like, rating. I would buy this. I would serve it. I'd be happy doing it. I'm just not sure I'm ready to give it like a bigger pop than that.
That's
but
fine.
I really like it. I
really like this.
I may come back to it and say, it's definitely buy it. Like, no question about it.
I mean,
Go out and buy it.
if I saw this, I would order this too.
I would too.
Like, I would spend.
I would totally too.
At a restaurant.
I'd
to have
spend
this
$15.99 on it.
I bet I would. This would be something I'd
be happy.
I'd be very happy.
Okay, we're going to take a break and we're going to try our last wine and finish off the best episode ever.
Woo!
Okay, we are back and we are ready to try our last one. This is the big baller.
Right, and I'm kind of cracking up because these are super party wines. Like,
why?
Like, look at the bubbles are going wild.
They're going crazy. This is actually a very light wine. This is a very light wine in color. Okay.
It makes me cough.
Okay, can I just do this?
I'm like a little kid.
All right. Okay. This is the Le Culture Fager Prosecco Superiore Brut. And this is from Valdobbiadene, Italy. What now?
What does Fager mean?
I don't know. Look it up.
Like,
maybe it's horses. A horse or something. I don't know.
They're fighting.
Okay. It's non-vintage, $19.99 at wine.com, 11.5% alcohol. Glera, 100% Glera as far as we know. And wine enthusiasts gave this one a 90 as well. But what do you smell? You gave me a look. What are you smelling?
Why don't you tell me what you're smelling this time?
It's similar to the last one, but a little bit more yeast, a little bit more earthy. I'm also getting like a pineapple candy.
Oh, pineapple, my God. Like the ones we get in Maui?
In Maui. That's what I'm getting. That pineapple candy smell.
Okay.
Are you with me at all?
I'm with you, babe. I'm right across the table from you.
Lemony. I'm getting lemony and apple on it. I'm
getting a little more apple.
It's so light in color.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling like this one is a little more like a traditional Prosecco smell.
Pineapple to me.
Yeah, but you were saying lemon too. Did you say a little lemon?
Yeah, but a lot of pineapple. It's very citrus. It's very tropical fruit smelling to me. It smells like Hawaii.
Ooh, yeah. It does have a little tropical smell to it. I'm getting apple though too. Maybe even a little pear. Are you not?
Okay, sure. No, I'm with you.
Yeah, let's try it.
It's tart.
Yeah, it's super tart.
It's really fizzy.
And you know what? There were so many bubbles, and they're still just like raging. Look at them.
I'm getting that pineapple candy though, but it's not super sweet.
It's not super flavorful either. Like it's not. It's nice. Like it's very. Actually, I think it would go really well with food.
That's what I was thinking the exact same thing. Because of that, it would be a great food wine. Mm-hmm. The other two are a little bit more cocktaily kind of wines.
Right.
This is a food wine
for sure.
And I think it's so like subtle in terms of flavor. So I'm getting that pineapple candy flavor, but it's not overwhelming. Mm-hmm. Little apple, little lemon, but it's not like an overpowering, and it doesn't. The last two kind of lingered in your mouth a little bit more. This one cleans right out.
Exactly. Not that ending like bitterness or tartness or citrus or pith or whatever it was that we were tasting at the end. This one is smoother.
This is a little bit more like sophisticated wine, I think.
I think so too. And it's so light. Even when it's calmed down, it's still a very light color. And the bubbles are just going wild.
Yeah, I agree.
It's pretty. It's very much a fun, festive wine too. Very much a celebration wine, even on a Tuesday night.
It's really the fizziness of it. A lot of times in a sparkling wine, you kind of don't want the fizzy. To me, the fizzy is fun in this one. Like the fizzy is kind of pleasant. Why don't you want
the fizzy?
Because you want more like, I think a fizzy is more like a soda pop. You don't like kind of want a soda pop with the sparkling wine. You want it to be more
bigger bubbles.
Yeah, but also just like less over, like it dances in your mouth, but it doesn't foam up your mouth. This one's a little bit fizzier, and I kind of like it. I think it's kind of fun.
I do too. I like the fizziness.
And the color is just throwing me because it is really light colored.
Right.
It is like...
I agree.
I don't even know how to describe it. It's not straw. It's like cream.
No, it is. Like a vanilla. Vanilla cream. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it does have kind of a little bit of creaminess to it.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's creamy.
Wait, is this 100%? Yeah, you did say.
Yeah, 100% Glera.
Okay.
But this is the top end, What food would you pair with this one, Carmela?
Well, again, I think we can do dinner foods with this for sure. And I would definitely something spicy with this. I think you could do like a Thai food.
Yeah. I feel like you could do a lot of foods with this. I think you could do a lot of chicken dishes. I think you do pasta dishes. I don't think you want anything overly like acidic. I don't think it's going to go great with like a steak.
No.
But it could go with a lot of things. It could go with some stews, I feel like. Stew foods like that are fatty, kind of like, I think they would actually do just fine.
What about, you know, for some reason, I don't even know why. I'm thinking of like a chowder.
Chowder would
like
be great.
Like a clam chowder or a potato chowder or
a white pizza would be really good. Corn chowder would be really good. A white pizza would be really good.
Yes. Yeah. It's very nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, what rating would you give this one?
So this is tough. I mean, okay, I think that I'm going to give this an 8. But you'll ask me later which one I would drink.
I'm going to ask you that in like a minute.
Okay. So I'm giving it an 8, like a good 8.
Me too. I'm giving it an 8.
Okay.
It's my top one of the night.
Woo.
So for me, I'm drinking this one. But which one are you drinking tonight?
I think I would drink this one too.
Okay.
But I like both the Zardetto and this one. This one, they're different. They're pretty different.
Like this one would be hard. They were all really drinkable and all ones that like I could down them. But I feel like I would enjoy drinking this one, kind of like sipping it, kind of thinking about it, having it with food, kind of. I don't feel like it's like I have to throw it down.
No. The Proseccos too are crowd pleasers. But of the three, this one I think would be a great choice for like a large group of people that everybody would really enjoy.
And I think it would be a little bit more sophisticated. I think you'd bring this to
more
like
holiday.
Yeah, I think you'd bring yes, exactly. And I think you'd bring it to like a maybe more sophisticated wine drinkers and say like, have you ever tried this Brut Superiore Prosecco?
Not with the dudes looking for chicks.
But the
like
other
the
thing
Zardetto.
is well, the other thing is I think sometimes Prosecco is getting kind of a reputation as kind of like a cheap sparkling wine. And I think this is a good example of like, no, this is a good quality one.
Right. Well, and you know what? The bottle is a little more, even though it's got these weird horses, it's a little more sophisticated. I like the bottom. Super cool. And, you know, like the shape. But yeah, and it's just sort of dark and it almost feels like a nighttime, an evening holiday party.
I like it. Okay, so let's talk about the taste profiles expected from a Prosecco.
Okay.
So the general taste profile of a Prosecco, a Brut Prosecco, maybe even, is notes of lemon, citrus, green apple, and pear. Very much. We were getting a lot of those, right? So for the Bissell J.O., the winery says fresh personality and decisive notes of green apple, citrus, and spring blossom.
Ooh, okay.
Wilfred Wong says the sparkling wine shines with active beads, tart apple aromas, and flavors. And Wine Enthusiast says creamy, racy, and fun. Green apple, wisteria, and aromatic herb. The vibrant palate delivers Bartlett pear, citrus, and thyme. What did we taste?
Well, we definitely have the peach and the cider, kind of an apple, like a green apple.
I think I was saying pear a lot.
You said pear, yeast, cinnamony. You did get some baking spices on this one too. The skin of a pear, even you were saying.
Yeah, pear.
Yeah,
pear.
a lot of pear. The Anjou you were talking about, that specific pear. So yeah, we were within those notes for sure. The other thing I was going to say is I liked the descriptor of racy.
Racy.
I feel like that was kind of a
little racy wine.
I like that.
Okay, let's talk about the Zardetto.
Okay.
James Suckling says, a good Prosecco with some nice citrus and light green tea character. Did you get green tea?
No, but we definitely were saying citrus.
Yeah. Fresh lemon. Wine Enthusiast says fresh lemon, lime, and citrus blossom. Remember I was saying like some flowers?
Yes, absolutely.
Frame the nose. The palate pops with the light pearlage of the wine and its vibrant citrus flavors.
Okay.
So we were getting a lot of citrus on that one too.
We were.
Yeah. And I got the flowers. The Le Coteur, the winery says its most attractive elements are encapsulated in the inviting sweetness of vegetable and heady citrus aromas, and very often a pleasing note of fresh bread.
Vegetable.
Yeah. And then Wine Enthusiast says, crisp in focus, notes of Honeycrisp apple, white flowers, and crushed stone. The vibrant palate, we definitely got a vibrant palate, emulates the nose with a touch more flint on the zippy finish. So they weren't getting a lot of the fruits.
They weren't getting the tropical. We were getting a real pineapple on that guy.
Kind of funny. Huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you think, Carmela, for holiday wine?
I love them.
Brut
I actually think
Prosecco.
are all great choices.
I agree.
Really. And you know what? You should just have Prosecco at your holiday party. You just should.
You just should. Do it. Yeah. What are you waiting for?
Right.
Stop being a baby.
Oh.
All right, Carmela, it's time for us to go. But before we do want to thank you for listening to us. And if you haven't done so yet, now would be a great time to subscribe and to leave us a nice rating and review wherever you can do that kind of thing.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, that's right. And you can leave us a message on our website at thewinepairpodcast.com, and you can join our email newsletter there. Or you know what? You can just email me at joe@thewinepairpodcast.com.
Every month, and you'll send it every month, right?
Yeah, or just email me and say, hey, Joe, what's up? What are you doing? Let's hang out.
Like, tell me what you said in your newsletter.
Exactly.
I want to recap.
No, I mean, you don't have to talk about the newsletter.
Just like, how are you doing?
How you doing, bro?
How you living?
That's right. Okay. Exactly. And with that, we're going to sign off. So thank you very much once again, and we'll see you next time. And thank you for listening to the best episode we've ever done in our lives.
Ever.
And as we like to say, life is short, so stop drinking shitty wine. Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
And the happy ending at the end of our story. Always think too much. Always drink too much. Always pray too much. Always play too much. And when I'm with you too much, I fall in love too much. And when I'm away too much,